Now, nothing is more disappointing than sitting through a good horror movie only to be let down in the closing moments due to a poorly executed twist or simply a weak ending. Regardless whether the rest of the movie was good, it kind of ruins the entire thing. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 horror movie endings that made no sense. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Before we begin, there will be lots of spoilers. I literally ruin every single movie for everyone, so don't come for me, because you usually do. Sucks if you haven't seen it, that's a you problem. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Identity. Released in 2003 and directed by James Mangold, Identity stars John Cusack, Ray Liotta, Amanda Peet, Alfred Molina, Clea Duvall, and Rebecca De Mornay. The movie follows 10 strangers who arrive at an isolated hotel and become temporarily cut off from the rest of the world when mysterious killings begin to occur, with each of them being picked off one by one. Now, although the plot is not a direct adaptation of Agatha Christie's 1939 whodunit, And Then There Were Now, it does draw from the structure of the novel. So what exactly goes down during the end of the movie? Well, it is revealed that the characters we have come to know and love, well, they're not real. No, instead they all exist inside the mind of Malcolm Rivers, the host, a convict who is awaiting execution for several vicious murders that took place in an apartment building. On top of that, he suffers from multiple personality disorder, and the characters in the motel were actually his personalities. In essence, throughout the movie, one of his personalities is killing the rest, with it turning out to be Timmy, a little boy. He takes down the final personalities, with him taking control of Malcolm's brain, turning him into a homicidal maniac. Fun times. You know what? It is somewhat of a good twist, just poor execution in my opinion. Honestly though, the movie wasn't that good to begin with, but it is a fun time regardless. Coming in at number 4, High Tension. Released in 2003 and directed by Alexandre Aja, High Tension is a slasher movie that follows a beautiful young French woman, Alex, who travels out to the country to visit her family, brings along her friend Marie. Soon after they get settled into the secluded home, Alex's parents are brutally attacked by a psychotic truck driver who proceeds to stalk the two women as well. When the killer kidnaps Alex in his truck, Marie hides in the back to try and rescue her, but the bloodshed is far from over. Now, this new French extremity slasher is a fan favorite among horror movie lovers, but we can all agree that the ending is not up to par with the rest of the film. Prior to the end, Alex and Marie are put through the ringer as a series of killings unfold. Now, the reveal of this movie, Marie was the killer all along. Love that twist. 10 out of 10 does not make any sense. On top of that, the trucker who has been pursuing them for the entire movie, not real, just a figment of Marie's imagination. However, this completely confuses all audience members, as there is a pretty long, drawn-out sequence where Marie and Alex are trapped inside the trucker's trunk while he is driving around. So what exactly even happened there? It's a shame because the movie is genuinely good. The ending just really let it down in my opinion. Never watched it, never will. In at number 3, Orphan. Orphan is a fun movie, but we all know it's not that good. I would give it a solid 5 out of 10, but enjoyment levels 10 out of 10 for sure. Released in 2009 and directed by Juan Collet-Serra, Orphan centers on a couple who, after the death of their unborn child, adopt a mysterious 9-year-old girl. Starring Vera Farmiga and Peter Sarsgaard, the movie is an intense thrill ride, with it becoming apparent very early on that the daughter isn't as sweet and innocent as she initially appeared to be. The mother becomes suspicious, with the daughter Esther seeming to possess more knowledge of certain things than she should at the age of 9, including knowledge about sex, with her even making bizarre advances towards the father, even breaking her arm and blaming it on the mother. Her facade begins to crumble over the course of the movie before finally reaching its crescendo. Now, the ending in question was absolutely shocking and utterly baffling. The daughter isn't actually 9 years old, no, she's instead a 33-year-old woman named Lena Klammer who suffered from a rare disease resulting in her stunted physical growth. It is revealed that she has spent the majority of her life posing as a small child. On top of that, she has murdered at least 7 people in her life, which is comforting. The ending made no sense simply because it was clear as day that this was a child. Also, there was no way she could go through her whole life without someone discovering the truth. The entire movie jumped the shark, but regardless, it was a fun time up until the ending. Also, Vera Farmiga, she's babe, 10 out of 10. Coming in at number 2, Signs. Now, I love Signs, I really do, and I'm a big supporter of it, but I do agree it has its flaws, and most of them lie in the twist and ending of the movie. We all know what I'm talking about. Released in 2002 and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, Signs stars Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix, with it focusing on a former priest named Graham Hess, played by Gibson, who discovers a series of crop circles in his cornfield. Hess slowly discovers that the phenomenon is a result of extraterrestrial life. Now, the movie from start to finish is intense, with the family being forced to barricade themselves in their home as aliens descend and attempt to break in. They soon discover that this is happening across the globe and no one is safe. However, what makes this film so genius in my opinion is that it's all connected. There is a message in everything that is said and done. Science doesn't just refer to the crop circles, but it also refers to messages, dialogue said by Graham's wife when she is tragically killed by a drunk driver. She hints to the future and the events that transpire at the end of the movie. It confirms the theory that everything happens for a reason. Graham needed to lose his faith. Joaquin's character Meryl is a former baseball player. The daughter Beau has a strange thing with water and the son Morgan has asthma. This all needed to happen because in the closing moments of the movie, when the aliens break in, storm the house, grab Morgan, and threaten to kill him with toxins that are expelled from their body, all these signs begin to make sense. Morgan is having an asthma attack. No toxins can get in his lungs. Meryl has a baseball bat on the wall and he swings away, just like Graham's wife said to do the day she was struck by a car. And Beau, of course, has water spread around the house because she is so picky. When Meryl swings away, the alien falls into a table, knocks down the water, and we learn that water is the alien's weakness. This is where things get ridiculous. Why would aliens come to Earth when around 96.5% of the planet is made up of water? And finally coming in at number 1, The Happening. Now, not only did The Happening have one of the worst endings of all time, but it is arguably one of the worst movies ever made, and I don't say that lightly. Sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. Released in 2008 and directed by Shyamalan, The Happening is an apocalyptic horror movie starring Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel, with the movie following a group of 4 people as they try to escape an inexplicable natural disaster. Now, this movie is notorious for being absolutely terrible. However, it did gift us with Mark Wahlberg saying this line.
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep.
What? No.
Anyway, despite this magical moment, the movie was an utter train wreck from start to finish, with it all going downhill as soon as they tried to convince us that Mark Wahlberg and Zooey Deschanel were a married couple. Anyway, what exactly is going on in the northeastern United States? What began this disaster and why are folks taking their own lives? Ultimately, we discover at the end of the movie that the true villain was Earth itself. Well, the plant population. The plant life begins to develop a deadly neurotoxin that is deadly to humans. The plant life ultimately affects people's speech, coordination, and then leads them to taking their own life. I quote, "You know, plants have the ability to target specific threats. Tobacco plants, when attacked by Heliothis caterpillars, will send out a chemical attracting wasps to kill just those caterpillars. We don't know how plants obtain these abilities, they just evolve very rapidly." Honestly, I really dislike discussing this movie, it's a waste of time and energy. Don't have time. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were any horror movies that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 horror movie scenes that ruined your childhood. Kimberly Winkleman said, "I liked The Village too." Well, I'm glad. It seems like we're the only 2 people in the world that liked that movie. I mostly liked it for Bryce Dallas Howard, to be honest. That babe, 10 out of 10. Win Gnome said, "Witches was added to Netflix recently. I thought it would be something great to watch with my kids. I didn't remember it being that scary, but it really is. We were watching them turn into the mouse, and I thought, oh no, what have I done?" Honestly, if you want to traumatize your child for life, like my parents did with me, just make them watch that movie. It's disturbing as f. Although, like I said in my last video, I did have a sex stream about the witch in that movie, so now it's all changed for me. I might need to rewatch it. John Shadwick said, "I always thought the people in Blair Witch were stupid. All they had to do was follow the creek out of the woods." Well, honestly, I must be stupid as well, because I didn't know that was a thing. Do you just follow water? It leads you to safety. Stephen Endersby said, "Children's PG-13 movies from the 80s were absolutely scarring and it's a wonderful thing to behold." I completely agree. Adam Meyer said, "The Village is worth watching for James Newton Howard's score alone." Very, very true. And for Bryce Dallas Howard, as I said. Great Alan said, "The cake eating scene and the choking and Matilda still scar my daughter at 25. Still scars me when they're shouting, 'Bruce, eat it, Brucey. Go Bruce!'" And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. I don't like when you film me. You make me laugh even though I can't see you. Hello? I don't like talking to myself. Chris at least laughs at me sometimes. Before finally